Hi, my name is David. Today we're going to do number 1903, largest odd number in string. So we're giving a string num, and it represents a large integer. So in this example, the num is 52 as a string, and it represents the number 52. Return the largest valued odd integer as a string that is a non-empty substring. So here we have a string of 52. We return a string of 5 because a non-empty substrings are. So we can look at the substrings of 5 and 2 and 52. And the largest odd integer that we have is 5 because 5 is the only one and it's the largest. So that is what we return. If there is none odd numbers in this example, we just return an empty string. So there's no odd digits in here. And in this one, this is already the largest odd number. So we return the large number. So the trick here is that we have to look at this as a number, not as a string, so we can tell if it's odd or not. Also, if we want the largest one, we can just look at, so if we just look at, we look at the entire digit and we just delete the last index of it and look at here. And then we keep going until we get to the end. So the trick here is that we have to see if it's odd or not. And we can just do that by looking only at the last index, not at the entire number. And then see if that last index is odd. If it is odd, we return as is. And then if it's not odd, we keep looping back until we find something that is odd. And that is what we return. That will give us the largest one. So we can loop through this number backwards. So we can look at the last index. So loop. And then, so that's the first step. And then inside of it, we check if the current num is odd. And then if it is, we know we found what we needed because we're looking from backwards. Return num dot slice. So we're gonna have to use the slice one from the beginning until that last index, and slice doesn't include that last index, so we have to add 1 to it so that it's I plus 1. And then if we don't hit this return, we just return an empty string. Great. And the way we check this is that we can mod it by 2. We have to parse it to a string and then parse to an int, and then mod to see if it doesn't equal to 0. Okay. So first we loop through num. So for the I equal num dot length minus 1. I is greater than or equal to 0. I minus minus. And now we check the current num. So if num index I, and then we have to parse it into an int. So we can use the shorthand syntax. Mod 2 does not equal to 0. return num dot slice 0 I plus 1. And then if it doesn't hit this return, just return the empty string. Great. Great, we got it. So this is a pretty efficient way of solving it, because at first I was like, slicing off, popping off the last integer of the string each time, and that's if we do create a new string, it's O n squared space. And then I was also trying to convert it into an integer and then divide it by 10 to get the last one, and so forth. But then like large numbers was throwing me off and me problems, and it was giving me a, and then I tried using big int as a type. But this is a pretty clever way of solving it. So we just loop backwards of it and then check if the last index is odd or not. If it is, we just return where we at. We slice that num to where it's at. If it doesn't, we just return an empty string. So the time complexity, since we're doing a loop here, it's going to be O of n, where n is the length of n. And then the space complexity will also be O of n, because we're creating a new string here. That's how you solve this problem. Thank you so much.